it's so important for women to be in head coaching jobs. A a coach I've been inspired by since I've been coaching is Dawn Staley. I mean, she's we call it elite.
Hmm.
She really is a true pioneer when it comes not only in women's basketball, but in women's sports, just competing in the Olympics and the level of experience she's had at South Carolina and the amount of national championships that she's won and her Title IX equal pay,
Hmm.
you know, contract that she just got. That's truly inspirational because it's rare.
Hello, everyone. This is author Tim Brown, the book Uncommon Athletes, Filled with Passion, Fueled by Purpose. I'm excited to have with me today a truly uncommon athlete who has been around this game a long time, has been a blessing to not just a player, but now as a coach. I want to remind everyone, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to our channel so I continue to showcase these young coaches. It's been my goal lately in the series is just to give a spotlight on some young coaches, some up and coming coaches who are doing a great job, and just to be encouraged about that next generation of coaches. So today I'm blessed to have me coach Travecia Franklin, who's the head women's basketball coach at Hocking College. So welcome to the show, Coach Franklin.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach Tim Brown. Thank you so much for having me.
When did you actually fall in love with basketball? When did you start playing basketball?
Oh man, it's been a long time. I mean, I started at a young age, between 4 and 5, just bouncing the ball and being outside and hanging with the boys. And I was always the only girl on the basketball court, and that never really mattered to me. I was truly passionate from such an early age, and it carried me through middle school and high school and college and professional. So I'm extremely grateful for the gift of basketball that God has given me, because it truly has saved my life.
Yes, looks like you've been blessed also to have some great coaches. Your high school coach, the Ohio Hall of Fame coach, Coach Reggie Lee at Brookhaven High School, and then you went on to Indiana State with Coach Moran, who's now the coach at University of Indiana. So talk about how those coaches influence you.
Sure, sure. The influence piece, um, just to throw that out there, that's one of the most important tools that you can have, not only as a coach, but as a leader in a community or whatever the case may be. Their influence just over my life outside of basketball has really truly made me into the woman that I am today. A lot of people, they compliment me on how I do carry myself and the things that I'm doing over at Hawking and just my journey as a whole. But ultimately, none of those things are possible without those people. People like Coach Lee. I was a young person, 14, 15 years old. I may have been 13 and going to Brookhaven, and Coach Lee has so much respect and admiration within the city of Columbus. And me being a young person, I had no clue who he was. I just wanted to play, and he really did a fantastic job of instilling those tools, for my development. As hard as it was to play for Coach Lee, he is definitely responsible for my coaching success. Everything I teach, I've been taught. You know what I'm saying? And then Coach Moore over at Indiana State or over at Indiana University, she was a tough coach. I mean, if you can't tell, she gets the job done.
Let's talk about your basketball journey. You left, played high school, college, and then you went overseas, played in both Germany and Europe. Let's talk a little bit about that experience for you.
Yeah. I mean, it was quick. It was a quick turnaround. When once you sign that professional contract, you immediately turn into an actual adult. They treat you that way. But to be able to gain experience like that in a completely different country where nobody speaks English and the food is different and you have to read labels and it really just shows you how great God is, because he allows you to experience the thing that you truly love and are passionate about from a different scope, and you're constantly learning new things. they have different rules overseas that they play with, so you have to make adjustments there. And again, like I said, the turnaround is really quick. You can be in Paris one day and traveling throughout Germany and Munich and Frankfurt and all of these different places. And the communication piece that you have here in the States and in college, it's easier to communicate with people that you're culturally familiar with, but you're kind of forced into a space once you get over there where you have to communicate in different ways. Because if you don't speak English and I don't speak German, then how are we going to be able to, win the game? So just different things like that. But that's what really makes it fun,
Yeah.
interesting. So it was great.
Hey, in that you talked about God, and it's just a blessing that knowing how good God is, to take a young lady from Columbus, Ohio, and allow her to be able to see the world, even on the college collegiate level, and then going overseas and playing. Can you talk a little bit about your faith, how important faith has been in your journey?
Oh God, yes. That's my favorite thing to talk about. Sure. Faith is it's the one thing I believe that we all have in common. Aside from gender and nationality and things like that, faith is the one thing that we can all have in common. And in order for you to demonstrate faith and be faithful, you really have to be in positions where you have no control. Where you have to really relinquish your control and have faith that God will work the situation out, whether it be good or bad. And unfortunately, the way life works, life is so up and down that at times some people experience, from their perspective, more good things than bad. And I just really lean on my faith just throughout my journey, and I try to be very intentional, about the things that I say to my players and the way that I carry myself, because at all times I want to represent God in the best way possible.
That's a good word. I think the Bible in Romans says all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, are called according to his purpose. And in that, there are going to be some things, like you said, that we're going to go through. But being believers, we have to know that all this is going to work together. We may not see it now, but we'll look back. Oh, that's what God was doing.
Right. Right.
It all works together. It says for his good, for those that are called and according to his purpose, not our purpose, it's his purpose. Yeah. So getting to that, when did you realize that coaching was your passion?
Just a couple years ago, to be completely honest. I had just come back from overseas. I was kind of forced to get a job and really just be a working class citizen. My family, we're all working people. Nobody's gonna sit at home and you know what I'm saying? So right. I came home and I got a job and I just felt really disconnected. And I can't really explain the disconnection. I felt so disconnected. And, it could be because I wasn't playing anymore. That was my safe space for a very long time. And not being able to do that, for various reasons, it kind of bothered me. So I just said to myself, I'm going to give this a try. And once I got the head coaching job at Mifflin High School, I was very nervous. My dad he's the one who talked me into it. And he said, just go for it and just do it. And that's that faith piece, that we just talked about. I just kind of have faith just in myself and in my journey. I've experienced a lot from a basketball standpoint, where I felt confident enough that I could be successful in that role, and just kind of see what was going to happen and whose life I could impact. And now that I've been in it, you could not have told me back then I would have experienced all of this now. So it's been great though. Lots of ups and downs, and lots of transition and growth and learning. Coaching is such a learning game. This new generation of an athlete, you have to really understand how to get to them, because some tools and some practices, maybe from 10 to 15 years ago, they just simply don't work anymore with some of these kids. So just those things, and me being a young person, I'm able to, connect with them in a different way.
Mm.
So it's been great though. Coaching has been great.
No, that's great. Speaking of that, as you're dealing with young people, what would you say? What are you telling them some of the benefits of maybe playing at a junior college? At a smaller school. Everybody has this dream, wants to go D1, wants to
Right.
ride on those charter planes, stay in them big hotels and all that.
Right.
Could you speak to what are some of the benefits of playing at your level?
Yeah. And there's so many benefits. I mean, I obviously didn't play at this level. I played Division 1, but that was my journey.
Mhm.
But there are several benefits. Just the developmental portion. You get additional exposure because the Division 1 is so overly saturated.
Mhm.
There's just not enough space. There's not enough room for everybody, and that's just as simple as I can put it. The junior college just allows you to continue to play and continue to pursue your education. That way you're really prepared for the workforce. That's the truest benefit I can think of. It prepares you academically, and athletically.
As you talk about basketball at Hocking Tech, what is the what describe the culture you're trying to build there? Talk
Yeah,
about the
sure,
culture that you're building.
sure. When I got to Hocking in August of 2020, there was no precedent. There was nothing established. I had nothing to go off of. Nobody had to teach me the way. I really just had to learn and make a mistake and grow from it. But um, the culture that we're cultivating, a winning culture at Hocking currently. And I don't mean a wins-loss winning culture. I mean a culture where we're promoting positive attitudes, where I want to put people in roles in which they're best fitted, where they're most successful, to be able to make tough decisions when they need to be made, to be able to hold everyone accountable, and to get everybody to buy in. That's the winning culture. We call it the wolf mentality per our professional development training, but that's it. To just be winners, to act like winners, and for there to be a standard. We are setting our expectations extremely high, but that's what it takes to win.
Mhm.
If you can capitalize on those different things, um, like integrity, and you talk about that in uncommon, and passion, and selflessness. If we can get our kids to buy in to those things, wins and losses, those things will take care of themselves.
Can you talk about some of the life lessons that you're trying to instill in these young ladies, both on the court and that will help them off the court as well?
Yeah. Um, my big thing is talking about culture and character.
Hmm.
Culture and character. Those are one of my two primary focuses within my program. We're talking about, are you respectful to people that you're interacting with? Are you please, thank you, excuse me, yes sir, yes ma'am, I'm sorry? Are you accountable for the things that you're doing on and off the basketball court? So those are things that I try to instill into my kids on a daily basis. Um, I'm more of, I I try to build the person before I'll build the basketball player, because
Mm.
essentially, if you weren't good enough to be here, then we would not have recruited you,
Mm.
period. So we really just work on them as people and put them in situations, um, where they can implement the tools that we're teaching them. So I'll give you an example, and you were a part of this process where we led our basketball camp with professional development and several different pieces. We brought you on, Miss Marquita Curry. She's the regional director for Columbus City. Miss Tanya Kelly. Um, she's been nominated for all kinds of charter school awards. Just a bunch of different people. We wanted to bring in people that are essential to the development of the person.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna have all the answers. I know that I'm not, and just me being a young coach and observing and really just trying to be intentional about the direction of the program, that's really why we're leading in a professional development space as opposed to an athletic space. Because my kids can hoop, they can play. I mean, this gonna be the best group coming out of hockey in a long time. I can almost put my whole paycheck on it. It's not a lot, but I'm gonna put the that I got on my kids. They are exceptional women who can really put that basketball in the hole. But we want to piece together. I want the whole person. I want the whole athlete.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing and observing is that you want to put your stamp on them, so to speak, and players are going to model the coach.
Sure.
How the coach handles themselves, one, and two, what's important to the coach is going to be important to the player.
Right.
And obviously, that your big thing is about character, because, like I said, basketball take care of itself. I love what you said. If you couldn't play, you wouldn't be here. So that's a given. Now let's work on that other part that's going to sustain us. It's going to get us through them tough times.
Yeah.
Get us through them times, and being young ladies of integrity. Being able to overcome situations, a lot of stuff that we talk about in the book. And then just having that nerve. We walk on this court, we playing because we're prepared. We're ready for whatever challenge comes our way. This has been a great conversation. I'm just so excited to have a young female coach on. I've been excited about this and looking forward to this. But lastly, can you speak to why it's so important for female coaches to be involved in the lives of these young ladies, and not just assistants, but in that head decision-making position? Why is it so important for young ladies to see that? And what do you see your role is as a female coach?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important for women to be in head coaching jobs. A coach I've been inspired by since I've been coaching is Dawn Staley. I mean, she's we call it elite. Mm-hmm. She really is a true pioneer when it comes not only in women's basketball, but in women's sports, just competing in the Olympics, and the level of experience she's had at South Carolina, and the amount of national championships that she's won, and her Title IX equal pay, contract that she just got. That's truly inspirational because it's rare. You don't really see it that much. Half the time, honestly, when we're away at games, athletic directors think that I'm one of the players. Mainly, I don't know if it's just because I'm young or what, but when I introduce myself as the head women's basketball coach, their chin literally hits the ground. And I just want to be able to have that familiarity within my career so my kids can see it. It's truly inspirational, but the connectedness and belongingness that comes with this job, when my kids see me, I think it would inspire them to do anything. I had one of my kids call me yesterday, and ultimately that's what it's all about. I just really want to inspire my kids. And I think my representation is so vital to this community. When they see somebody that looks like them, they pay a little bit more attention. Some kids respond better, to same-sex coaches. You know what I'm saying? I've been truly grateful for my role as head women's basketball coach, because it has allowed me to change a lot of lives, and all sometimes due to the fact that I am a woman, and not only that, a Black woman.
All right, now I am a woman. I am a woman, but no, I want to thank you for just being you. The thing I've observed, and it's just your genuineness. There's nothing phony about you. You are what you say you are. And you are truly an inspiration to young people, especially young ladies, because you can only be what you see. And by them seeing you in that position and being inspired, being encouraged, but you're just authentic in that as well. Just the real, and that's the difference I think what young people need today. They want to be around somebody that's real.
Right.
Not talking one thing about character and integrity and then doing something else.
Right.
That doesn't work anymore, but they want to be around someone who's real. And I want to applaud you for that. And I want to encourage you to just stay on that battlefield, because we know it's things are going to go tough. Things may not go the way they should go, but I think you have enough inside of you, and the most important thing you have inside of you is the Lord. that God is
Absolutely.
directing you. When you know He's in charge, they can do all those things through Christ, who gives you that strength, to keep on keeping on. But I'm so proud of you and what you're doing, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching these young ladies play and just watching them play the right way. There's a way to play, but then there's the right way to play. And
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just looking forward to watching that and just the character they will exude because of you. So I want to encourage you in this thing. This is going to be good. It's going to be a great run. I know you're excited, chopping at the bit, ready to go.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. And thank you, thank you so much for having me and allowing me to just be here today. Anybody watching, I would encourage you guys to support Hocking women's basketball, and it really does take a village. All support matters. Coach Tim Brown, he's done a great job. He's super supportive of my program and my staff and just everything that we got going on. So thank you, and thank everybody, for the ongoing support.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Have
All
a
right,
great
thanks, Coach.
season. All right.
You too.